Have you ever looked at an old shirt or pair of jeans and thought, this is just trash? Maybe it's faded, torn, or too worn to wear, stuffed in the back of a drawer waiting for its final trip to the landfill. But what if we told you those forgotten fabrics could become something extraordinary? Welcome to a world where discarded clothing becomes part of something vibrant, alive, and breathtaking. In this series, we're not just planting flowers. We're planting stories, textures, and memories. Imagine walking through a garden where the edges are crafted from button-up shirts, denim jeans, braided sweaters, or even patterned batik cloth. Each border, handcrafted from repurposed garments, transforms the space into a celebration of color, creativity, and conscience. This isn't just DIY. This is soul-stirring sustainability. It's about giving second chances to fabric, to the planet, and to the way we think about beauty. These borders don't just hold flowers. They hold emotion. Some are playful, some poetic, some deeply personal. You'll laugh at the charm, gasp at the innovation, and maybe even tear up when you realize how something so ordinary can be transformed into something so meaningful. So before you toss away those old clothes, wait. Let them bloom. Let them surround life with softness, memory, and bold imagination. Because what you're about to see isn't just gardening, it's reimagining. Are you ready to feel surprised, inspired, and deeply moved? Let's begin. 1. Elegant garden border revival. In a charming blend of creativity and sustainability, an ordinary garden border is transformed into a captivating focal point using repurposed clothing and old wedding dresses. This imaginative project breathes new life into discarded fabric, turning what was once forgotten into a soft, whimsical edging that frames a vibrant flower bed. Layers of delicate lace, flowing tulle, and netting from gowns and evening wear wrap gracefully around the garden bed, forming gentle, cloud-like drapes that echo the soft bloom of the surrounding flowers. Each fabric fold adds texture and movement, creating a visually striking contrast against the structured greenery and symmetrical floral arrangements. The pastel tones of the reused garments complement the vivid purples, pinks, and yellows of the petunias and marigolds, blending natural beauty with vintage charm. The curved path of the garden is accentuated by this flowing border, guiding the eye along the bed and offering a tactile richness rarely seen in traditional landscaping. This innovative approach not only decorates the garden, but also emphasizes eco-consciousness and personal storytelling. Each piece of cloth may carry sentimental value: a bridal veil, a prom dress, or a beloved blouse, woven into a collective tapestry of memories that enrich the space with emotion and history. It turns the garden into a living gallery, where the past meets the present through sustainable design. By choosing to reuse old garments in landscaping, this project becomes a statement of both environmental awareness and artistic flair. It challenges conventional norms and redefines the role of materials in garden aesthetics, showing that with a touch of imagination, even the most unexpected items can bloom anew. 2. Necktie Garden Spiral Beauty. A vibrant celebration of creativity and reuse unfolds in a garden where old neckties are reimagined as a stunning spiral border. Dozens of colorful ties, once part of daily business attire or formal events, now encircle blooming cosmos flowers in graceful coils, giving new life to forgotten garments. Each tie is tightly rolled and meticulously placed, forming a continuous, swirling path that guides the eye through the garden's heart. The pattern and texture of each tie adds a layer of visual interest, creating a dynamic contrast against the soft pinks, whites, and magentas of the flowers. From striped reds to dotted blues, floral prints to silky solids, the border tells stories of individuality and forgotten style. Rather than being discarded, these ties find renewed purpose as functional art, merging fashion with the natural world. The spiral formation enhances the sense of movement and depth, encouraging visitors to walk closer and explore its details. This inventive garden border becomes a conversation piece, a joyful contradiction that pairs corporate uniformity with free-flowing blossoms. It proves that even small, overlooked items can make a powerful design impact when thoughtfully repurposed. This garden is more than a floral display. It's an eco-conscious expression. Reusing clothing in landscaping minimizes waste and promotes sustainable living. It challenges conventional thinking by blending utility with beauty in a surprisingly poetic form. The ties may have once symbolized routine and structure, but here they flourish as symbols of transformation and creative possibility. In turning old clothes into garden decor, this approach invites reflection on how we value the materials in our lives. It shows that with imagination, style doesn't need to fade. It can grow, bloom, and evolve into something entirely unexpected. 3. Colorful shirts garden border. A strikingly playful and inventive touch is added to this vibrant garden with a border made entirely from repurposed polo shirts. Brightly colored shirts in red, green, and blue are neatly stretched over rectangular blocks, forming a uniform yet cheerful perimeter that encases lush bougainvillea blooms in vivid pink and orange. The simplicity of the materials contrasts beautifully with the lush textures of the garden, blending human creativity with natural vibrancy. Each shirt, once a part of someone's everyday wear, now takes on a second life as a structural element in outdoor design. The collars, sleeves, and buttons are left intact, giving the border a whimsical, almost animated presence, as if the shirts themselves are standing in attendance, admiring the flourishing blooms they now protect. The repetition of the shirt pattern, alternating in color and direction, provides rhythm and continuity that enhances the geometric form of the garden bed. Beyond its visual appeal, this upcycled design speaks to a deeper purpose. By using old clothing in an imaginative way, the installation promotes sustainability and challenges perceptions of what can be reused. Items typically seen as worn out or disposable are elevated into artful, functional decor that supports environmental mindfulness. This garden border does more than frame its flowers. It frames a conversation about waste, value, and the untapped potential in everyday objects. It proves that beauty doesn't always require new materials, just fresh ideas. The colorful shirts, no longer confined to closets, now find purpose under the open sky, celebrating both nature and the spirit of reinvention. It is a joyful union of flora and fashion, where past and present meet in bold, blooming color. 4. Denim Dreams garden border. A unique blend of rustic charm and eco-conscious creativity takes shape in this garden, where old denim jeans are repurposed as a stylish, functional border. Draped and tucked around the edge of a lush flower bed, the jeans provide a sturdy yet soft aesthetic that perfectly complements the vibrant explosion of petunias in shades of magenta, violet, and crisp white. The frayed seams and faded textures of the denim add a rugged elegance that contrasts beautifully with the delicate petals rising above them. Each pair of jeans tells its own story, once worn on city streets, in workshops, or on countryside trails, now united in a second life to protect and frame nature's blooms. The curved layout of the garden bed highlights the flexibility of the fabric, while the signature indigo blues offer a calming visual rhythm amidst the floral riot of color. More than just a visual feature, the denim border is a statement of sustainability. By using worn clothing instead of conventional edging materials, the garden embraces a philosophy of reuse and reinvention. This approach challenges the notion of waste, demonstrating that even everyday garments can serve new, beautiful purposes when approached with imagination. The garden becomes a space of harmony, not just between plant species, but between human history and the environment. Jeans, a global symbol of work and resilience, now act as guardians of growth, gently holding the soil and framing the blossoms that rise with grace. This denim border doesn't just support the garden structurally, it supports an idea that beauty, practicality, and sustainability can coexist through thoughtful, creative reuse of the things we already have. Five, soft bloom garden border. A serene transformation unfolds in this garden, where discarded clothing finds a new purpose as an enchanting border. Softly gathered bedsheets and shirts in pastel hues, blush pink, lavender, sky blue, are artfully arranged around a circular flower bed, cradling bright lantana blooms in a cozy embrace. The fabric forms a voluminous, ruffled edge that mimics the soft petals of the flowers within, blurring the lines between textile and nature. Each section of fabric is loosely ruched and layered, creating an organic wave-like motion that feels both whimsical and comforting. The pastel colors complement the orange, pink, and yellow blossoms at the center, creating a delicate visual harmony. What once lived as everyday garments, now retired from closets and laundry lines, is reborn in an artistic celebration of reuse and renewal. This garden border invites closer inspection, not only for its aesthetic charm but for its underlying message. It is a gentle reminder that beauty need not come from new materials. The softness of the fabric contrasts with the sturdy life of the plants it surrounds, symbolizing the peaceful coexistence of human history and nature's resilience. Using clothing as a border is more than a design choice. It is an act of environmental mindfulness. It reduces waste, honors the tactile history of textiles, and showcases how even the most mundane items can be part of something meaningful and beautiful. The result is a garden that feels like a patchwork of memory and imagination, sewn together not with thread, but with thoughtfulness and creativity. It is a space where flowers bloom not just from soil, but from stories once worn and now wrapped around life itself. 6. Rainbow denim flower frame. In a delightful harmony of color, texture, and sustainability, this garden is encircled by a border made from repurposed pastel denim pants, dyed in soft hues of peach, lilac, mint, and sky blue. Each pair of jeans has been sewn or stuffed into place to form a whimsical, circular wall that cradles a burst of vibrant flowers. The playful use of color-blocked denim pairs beautifully with the blooming clusters of white, pink, and purple flowers inside, creating a living palette of joy and renewal. The garden bed becomes more than just a planting area. It's a celebration of transformation. Once worn as everyday attire, these jeans now find new purpose as guardians of floral beauty. Their pockets and seams remain visible, hinting at their former lives while now offering structure and visual rhythm to the circular border. The denim softens the space, offering a casual and cozy atmosphere that invites smiles and admiration. This approach to landscaping brings attention to the power of creative reuse. Rather than discarding old clothing, this project turns waste into wonder, showcasing how discarded textiles can be reborn as vibrant, purposeful design elements. The use of pastel tones brings a modern, cheerful energy, while the familiar denim texture grounds the design in nostalgia. Each section tells a silent story of fashion turned flora, of sustainability turned statement. It's an artistic and environmentally conscious way to redefine what a garden border can be. In this joyful blend of nature and fabric, flowers are not the only things blooming. So too are ideas about beauty, reuse, and the colorful potential of second chances. Seven, braided warmth garden border. A garden takes on a cozy charm with a border crafted from repurposed knitwear, braided into a vibrant, cushioned edge that winds gently around the beds of blooming morning glories. This colorful braid, woven from deep red, mustard yellow, and teal sweaters, adds a textured softness to the landscape, as if wrapping the plants in a warm, protective embrace. Each strand of the border tells a tactile story of comfort. Once worn on cool days, these ribbed sweaters now find a second life beneath the sun, turned into a creative expression of reuse. The rich hues and thick knit patterns offer a delightful contrast to the delicate lavender blue petals of the flowers, creating a blend of softness and structure that draws the eye and warms the soul. This unique garden edging is more than decorative. It is a statement of sustainability and imagination. Instead of discarding old clothes, they are transformed into a playful, functional design element. The plaited form, reminiscent of friendship bracelets or homey blankets, evokes a sense of connection, not only between colors and textures, but between past use and present purpose. The knitted border gently defines the garden space without the hardness of stone or metal, making it particularly suited for playful or whimsical garden designs. It invites touch and wonder, especially from children or curious passersby, while reinforcing the idea that beauty can emerge from what is often overlooked. This garden doesn't just grow flowers, it grows ideas about what we can make from what we already have. With a touch of creativity and care, warmth can be braided into every inch of the earth, reminding us that sustainability can also be soft, colorful, and comforting. 8. White collars among flowers. Alongside a vibrant path of blooming dahlias, an unexpected border catches the eye, dozens of crisp white dress shirts standing in immaculate formation. Once worn in offices, meetings, and formal affairs, these shirts are now repurposed into a bold garden installation, blending human history with the beauty of nature. Their stark whiteness contrasts vividly with the fiery reds, oranges, and yellows of the blossoms they now frame. Each shirt is buttoned and upright, evoking the posture of invisible figures standing in reverent admiration of the garden's splendor. The collar details remain sharp, lending an air of structure and discipline to an otherwise wild and flourishing space. This juxtaposition of order and chaos, uniformity and organic growth, creates a visually compelling story of harmony between human creation and the natural world. Beyond the visual novelty, This garden border offers a meaningful commentary on reuse and environmental consciousness. Rather than discarding these garments, they are transformed into a work of art, a symbolic fence that softens the divide between the artificial and the natural. The shirts, no longer serving their traditional function, are liberated into a new identity. Guardians of color, still presenting, but now with grace and gentleness. The concept challenges viewers to reconsider the life cycle of everyday items. In a world quick to discard, here stands a tribute to the past lives of fabric and form, reminding us that beauty can be reinvented. The garden, alive with motion and bloom, becomes not just a sanctuary for plants, but for stories woven into every button, stitch, and seam, now proudly standing tall among petals and sunlight. 9. Feathered fringe flower border. In a dazzling celebration of texture and flair, this garden bursts with personality thanks to a border made entirely from repurposed feather boas and costume accessories. Brilliant shades of hot pink, lavender, and violet feathers form a fluffy, theatrical ring around a mound of blooming purple verbena, transforming a quiet flower patch into a scene of whimsical energy and playful elegance. Once part of vibrant outfits, party costumes, or old dancewear, these feathers now serve a new role, decorating the edge of nature's performance stage. Their soft plumes sway gently with the breeze, echoing the movement of the flowers they surround, while the electrifying colors amplify the natural hues of the blossoms within. The combination of synthetic glamour and organic growth creates a captivating juxtaposition that draws smiles and sparks curiosity. This creative reuse of clothing accessories turns waste into wonder. Items that might have ended up discarded or forgotten now find renewed meaning in the garden, proving that beauty can emerge from even the most unexpected materials. The border adds not only a visual punch, but also a tactile softness that contrasts beautifully with the crispness of grass and foliage. Beyond its aesthetic appeal, this feathered edge carries a message of imaginative sustainability. It encourages thinking beyond the conventional, transforming flamboyant fashion remnants into a celebration of color, life, and renewal. The result is a border that's as expressive as it is eco-conscious, blurring the boundaries between costume and cultivation. In this space, the garden becomes a stage, the flowers its stars, and the border its glamorous curtain, proof that creativity, when guided by reuse, can feather the earth with joy and bold new meaning. Plaid shirts garden fence. A charming fusion of rustic fashion and floral beauty takes shape in this garden, where old plaid shirts are transformed into a quaint and colorful border. Each shirt, once worn for warmth and comfort, now stands proudly as part of a handmade picket-style fence enclosing rows of radiant marigolds. Carefully folded and layered to form pointed fence posts, the soft flannel fabrics add a welcoming texture to the flower bed while evoking cozy, countryside charm. The variety of plaid patterns, deep reds, muted blues, earthy browns, and snowy whites, creates a visual rhythm that complements the vibrant orange and yellow blossoms. Pockets and stitching remain visible, celebrating the functional craftsmanship of the garments and the individuality of each piece. What might have once been destined for donation bins or landfill now frames life and color in a playful yet purposeful way. This garden border is not only visually delightful, but also carries a meaningful message of reuse. By repurposing clothing rather than relying on traditional plastic or wood edging, the design makes a powerful statement about sustainability and creativity. The border feels alive with history, each shirt a memory, each stitch a thread connecting past to present. Incorporating these textiles into the garden transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It invites smiles, sparks conversation, and stands as a testament to what can be achieved when imagination meets intention. The flannel fence blurs the boundary between fashion and function, warmth and wilderness, proving that even the most humble of garments can help a garden grow, not just in color, but in heart and story. Batik border blossoms brightly. This garden transforms into a living celebration of heritage and color through a stunning border crafted from repurposed batik fabric. Once part of traditional garments, these intricately patterned textiles now frame rows of vibrant celosia flowers, guiding the eye inwards with rich earthy hues and elegant motifs. Folded neatly and arranged in a rhythmic sequence, the batik pieces form a harmonious perimeter that enhances both structure and story. The floral bed bursts with fiery tones, golden yellows transitioning to brilliant reds, mimicking the layered complexity of the batik prints that surround them. Every piece of fabric holds a history, hand-dyed with care, each design echoing culture, identity, and time. In their new role, these fabric fragments serve not just as decoration but as narrative threads, bringing ancestral beauty into conversation with the present. This reuse of clothing speaks powerfully to sustainability with cultural respect. Instead of allowing these cloths to fade in storage or be cast aside, they are reborn in a space of life and growth. The juxtaposition of handmade patterns with natural blooms creates a visual dialogue between human art and botanical wonder. This garden border doesn't just mark boundaries. It weaves together memory, creativity, and eco-conscious thinking. It becomes a soft yet strong statement that sustainable landscaping can also preserve tradition. In doing so, it offers an example of how fashion and floriculture can flourish together, drawing upon the past to nurture the future. A walk along this edge is more than a stroll through beauty. It's a journey through stories printed in dye, rooted in soil, and rising toward the sun. Cozy knit garden blocks. A delightful garden blooms with personality and warmth, bordered by pastel blocks wrapped in old sweaters and knitwear. This creative edging transforms repurposed clothing into soft, textured bricks in shades of blush pink, mint green, pale blue, and lavender. Each block is covered with a different sweater pattern, cables, ribs, and weaves, adding a comforting, homemade aesthetic that beautifully complements the vibrant begonias and geraniums bursting above. What once brought warmth to chilly days now finds new life as a guardian of green. The tactile charm of knitted fabrics offers a striking contrast to the crisp grass and the vivid, glossy petals of the flowers. The border feels both whimsical and grounded, blending cozy nostalgia with structured elegance. It wraps the flower bed like a handcrafted quilt, stitched together not with thread, but with purpose and imagination. This approach to garden design is a loving tribute to sustainability and creative reuse. Instead of discarding worn-out sweaters, they are reinvented as functional art, demonstrating how textiles can be more than just fashion. They can be part of the landscape. The soft tones harmonize with the natural environment, while the uniform block shapes create a modern, organized base. The garden becomes more than just a space for plants. it becomes a canvas for repurposing memories. Each block might tell a story of a sweater once worn on a favorite day, now cradling blooms under the sun. It's a reminder that with a touch of creativity, comfort can be everlasting, even in the outdoors. This border not only defines the garden, it softens and elevates it, one cozy stitch at a time. 13. Braided colorful garden edge. A vibrant splash of color and creativity surrounds this lively flower bed, bordered with braided fabric strips from old t-shirts. In bold shades of pink, orange, and green, the hand-woven edge creates a joyful frame for blooming zinnias in cheerful red and yellow hues. The bright textiles wrap tightly around the bed, forming a durable and flexible structure that contrasts playfully with the organic textures of soil and petals. Each row of braided fabric represents a second life for once-loved garments. Soft cottons that were once worn, washed, and folded are now reinvented into a functional and artistic garden element. The result is a raised bed that feels more like a hand-woven basket, inviting, approachable, and full of personality. This colorful design isn't just eye-catching, it's deeply sustainable. Instead of throwing away fabric waste, this garden reclaims it, turning tattered shirts into beauty that both supports and enhances the growth of plants. The use of textiles softens the look of traditional borders, introducing warmth and charm to the garden's edge while providing a gentle barrier that's safe for hands, knees, and curious little visitors. More than just decoration, the braided border becomes a celebration of creativity and environmental awareness. It shows that gardening isn't just about what's planted in the soil, but also how it's framed and protected. With just a few fabric scraps, an ordinary corner of earth becomes a festive patchwork of life and color, woven not only from thread, but from intention and imagination. This is a garden where sustainability grows hand in hand with style, proving that even the simplest materials can create extraordinary beauty when guided by thoughtful hands. 14. Whimsical spiral shirt garden. A cheerful ring of color and imagination surrounds this bed of daisies, formed from tightly rolled and stacked t-shirts that resemble playful spiral sculptures. Each roll, twisted with care from soft cotton garments, stands like a miniature lollipop or abstract bloom in hues of blue, pink, yellow, mint, orange, and lavender. Together, they form a whimsical garden border that brings joy, character, and creativity to the lawn. This artistic display turns the humble t-shirt into a garden hero. Once daily wear, these garments are now upcycled into vibrant forms that echo the fun and innocence of childhood crafts. The spirals are placed in a perfect circle, framing the white and yellow flowers at the center like petals radiating from a sunlit core. The scene feels alive with movement, as if the fabric sculptures are little creatures dancing around the daisies. More than just decoration, this border tells a story of sustainability. Instead of discarding old clothes, they're reborn as garden art, proof that recycling can be beautiful, imaginative, and functional. The soft material is safe for families, inviting to children, and gentle on the earth, while offering a durable and cheerful edge to a flower patch. This garden becomes a celebration of life, color, and second chances. It sparks smiles, invites storytelling, and encourages others to look at their wardrobes in a new way. With every twist and turn, the spiraled shirts remind us that joy can be handmade, borders can be soft, and even the simplest things, like an old tee, can frame something blooming and extraordinary. 15. Garden of soft borders. A whimsical curve of blooming flowers is playfully bordered by pastel garments repurposed into an unexpected and imaginative garden edge. Light pinks, lavenders, and sky blues, soft cotton underwear, are gently draped and tucked between clusters of white and purple blossoms, creating a visually unique border that is both surprising and endearing. Each piece of fabric blends harmoniously with the floral color palette, turning what was once intimate clothing into a soft, sculptural frame for nature's beauty. The use of such personal garments introduces a humorous and tender quality, making the garden not only a place of serenity but also of self-expression and bold creativity. This design is a testament to the power of upcycling, reimagining the discarded into something beautiful and functional. It defies traditional landscaping conventions, embracing softness instead of hard edges, and textiles instead of stone or wood. The fabric lies gently atop the flower bed, accentuating the gentle curve of the planting and echoing the shape of petals and leaves. Beyond its visual charm, this garden border offers a statement of sustainability. It invites viewers to reconsider waste, asking what else in our homes might have a second life outside, in the garden. Rather than hide what's old, it celebrates the lived-in and worn, as a part of life's ongoing cycle, as natural as blooming flowers. This soft border transforms the garden into a space of humor, reflection, and imagination. It reminds us that gardens are not only grown from seeds, but also from stories, fabric, and the courage to create something joyful out of the everyday. (16) Braided warmth flower circle. A striking circle of pansies in vivid purples and yellows blooms with elegance, framed by a thick, braided border made from old clothing, repurposed from black and navy garments, likely sweaters, sweatpants, or fleece jackets. This padded edge adds both form and texture to the flower bed. The soft fabric is carefully twisted and coiled, creating a plush, rope-like ring that cradles the flowers while inviting admiration for its ingenuity. This garden border is not only functional but also deeply creative. By giving discarded garments a second life, it transforms waste into warmth and structure. The heavyweight textiles provide a sturdy yet flexible enclosure, preventing soil erosion while adding visual interest. Their dark tones contrast beautifully with the bright blooms inside, making the colors of the flowers stand out even more. Beyond its aesthetic appeal, this border symbolizes sustainability at its best. It demonstrates how thoughtful reuse can replace synthetic or hard materials in outdoor design. The soft fabric protects delicate hands, makes maintenance more comfortable, and evokes a sense of coziness in a natural space. What once might have kept a person warm now shelters a bed of flowers, proof that even discarded items can nurture new growth. There's a quiet elegance in the simplicity of the color scheme and the intimacy of the materials used. This garden doesn't shout for attention. It invites a closer look, rewarding viewers with layers of texture and meaning. It's a tactile celebration of recycling, where human warmth meets nature's bloom in a perfect circle of life and creativity. Through this soft embrace, the garden blooms not only with flowers, but with care, innovation, and intention. (17) Checkered fabric flower border. Bursting with golden blooms and clever reuse, This vibrant garden bed is beautifully framed by a bold border wrapped in recycled checkered clothing. The blue and green fabric, once part of everyday wear, perhaps a flannel shirt or tablecloth, is now repurposed into a clean, structured edge that enhances the lively marigolds planted within. The contrasting textures create an inviting harmony. The soft weave of fabric next to the lush foliage, the neat checkered pattern grounding the wild vibrancy of the orange petals. This colorful pairing transforms the garden space into something both cozy and intentional, drawing attention not only to the flowers but to the creativity that surrounds them. Each section of the fabric-wrapped edge reflects a conscious effort to reduce waste and celebrate resourcefulness. Rather than using traditional stone, metal, or plastic borders, this soft alternative delivers a friendly, tactile finish. It offers warmth and nostalgia. Fabrics once wrapped around shoulders or set on family tables are now cradling blooms under open skies. This garden border stands as a joyful example of sustainable design. It turns worn-out garments into functional beauty, proving that the boundaries of a garden can be as expressive as what grows inside. The playful geometry of the check pattern adds a layer of visual interest, helping to organize the riot of color in a cheerful, balanced way. More than just decorative, this fabric border offers protection to the soil, retains warmth, and creates a defined yet soft-edged frame. It's a reminder that with care, even the simplest textiles can wrap nature in comfort, and in doing so, stitch together the values of creativity, sustainability, and charm. 18. Circular comfort garden beds. Bright orange snapdragons rise gracefully from the center of soft, circular planters wrapped in cozy, repurposed fleece clothing. These raised garden beds, padded in deep navy and gentle gray, bring an inviting, plush aesthetic to the landscape, showing how worn garments can be transformed into elegant, functional garden borders. Each ring is meticulously crafted, likely using rolled or stuffed sweaters, sweatpants, or jackets, shaped into thick, cushion-like forms that encircle the blooming plants. Their gentle curvature cradles the flowers while softening the entire garden space, both visually and physically. The result is a whimsical yet practical reimagining of clothing, merging texture and tone in harmony with nature. These fabric-filled forms do more than beautify. They insulate the soil, protect the plants, and create a safe, padded structure that is ideal for both display and family-friendly interaction. Children can explore without sharp edges or rigid frames, and gardeners enjoy an innovative solution that reflects care for both the environment and the landscape. This approach to landscaping is a powerful example of circular thinking, using what we already have to create something new and nurturing. By recycling warm garments into garden borders, the design honors the life those clothes once lived and breathes into them a fresh purpose under the open sky. The repetition of rounded shapes adds rhythm to the garden layout, while the muted fabric tones let the vibrant flowers truly shine. These soft, donut-like beds become not only a cradle for blossoms, but a symbol of creativity, warmth, and sustainable transformation, where past comfort is wrapped around new growth. Now that you've walked through a garden wrapped in denim dreams, braided shirts, and lollipop-colored fleece, we have just one question. Did you feel it? That spark? The sudden shift in how you see the things you used to throw away? Every single flower bed you just explored wasn't only planted with soil and seed. It was planted with intention, a second life, a story. What once covered your shoulders or wrapped around your waist now cradles petals and stems under sunlight. That's not just art. That's transformation. It's funny how something as small as an old shirt can suddenly mean something again. Maybe it reminds you of someone you've lost, a place you've loved, or a time you thought had faded. And now it lives on, framing flowers, holding roots, giving color and shape to nature itself. That's the magic we hoped you'd feel. This journey isn't about borders in the usual sense. It's about blurring the line between human and earth, memory and bloom. And maybe, just maybe, inspiring you to see every useless thing with new eyes. The next time you clean your closet, pause. The next time you see a hole in your sleeve, think again. That old fabric may not be worn, but it's not worn out. It still has life, and your garden might just be the perfect place for it. Because beauty doesn't always start fresh. Sometimes it starts again. Thank you for joining us in this patchwork paradise. Until next time, keep planting, keep repurposing, and keep letting your imagination grow wild.